Okay, multiplying out brackets. So you might be faced with something that looks like this. 4 times x plus y. That's the same as this. 4 times x plus y, all in brackets. But as usual in algebra, you don't bother with the times symbol. You don't need it. So how do we multiply out this bracket? Well, what you do, you take the thing that's outside the bracket and you multiply it by every single term inside. So that means we're going to do 4 times x, and then we're going to do 4 times y. Okay? So that becomes 4 times x, don't bother with the multiplication sign, it's just 4x. 4 times y is just 4y. And that's it. 4 brackets x plus y is 4x plus 4y. All right, let's do another example. Let's do p times a plus 5q. Okay? See, it doesn't have to be a number outside the bracket. This is algebra. It can be a variable. So we're going to do p times a and then p times 5q. So that's equal to p times a is PA or AP, doesn't matter. PA. P times 5q, what's that? Well, it's P times 5 times Q. It's traditional to write the number first. You could write P5Q, which would technically be correct, but just write the number first. So it's 5 times P times Q, which we write as 5PQ. That's it. 5QP would also be acceptable. No problem. Let's do another one. Let's do minus 2 outside the bracket this time. We'll have a 3x squared inside and a minus 2y squared inside as well. Okay, let's multiply this out. So we've got a minus outside the bracket this time. Now that minus belongs to that 2. Treat that as all one term, okay? Same thing as before. We're going to do that times the first term, and then that times the second term. And again, that minus belongs to the second term. The second term is minus 2y squared. Don't forget the minus. So that is equal to, right, minus 2 times 3x squared. What's that? Well, firstly, it's a minus times a plus, which is a minus. Okay? Now we look at the numbers. You do 2 times 3, which is 6. Okay? And finally, the variables is just x squared. So it's just x squared. So minus 2 times 3x squared is minus 6x squared. Okay, the second term. Minus 2 times minus 2y squared. Right, firstly, the signs. It's a minus times a minus, which is a plus. Okay, now the numbers. 2 times 2 is 4. And now the variables. No variables there, but there's just a y squared. So it's just a y squared there. Minus 2 times minus 2y squared is plus 4y squared. And that's it. That's the bracket multiplied out. Okay, final example for this. We'll do minus bracket x plus y. Right. When you see a minus outside the bracket and no number, think of that as an invisible 1 there. It's like minus 1 times the bracket. Okay? That's the same as this. It's minus 1 times x plus y. right? And it's the same thing. You do that times the x and that times the y. So it becomes minus 1 times x. It's a plus times a minus, which is a minus, and it's 1 times x. You could write 1x, but we don't bother if it's a 1, you just write x. Okay? So minus 1 times x is minus x. The same with the y. Minus 1 times y is minus y. That's it. So just look out for that. If there's a minus and a bracket, if you like, you can even write in the 1 there. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, now let's do double bracket multiplication. So let's start with x plus 3 times x plus 4. Okay, how do we do this? Well, in the same way. What you do, you start with the first term here, in the first bracket, and you multiply it by every term in the second bracket. When you've done that, you move on to the next term here, and multiply that by every term in the second bracket. So that means we're going to do that one times that one, okay? Then that one times that one. Then we finish with that one. So we move on to this one. We're going to do that one times that one. And then that one times that one. So in this line here, we're going to have 4 terms. So let's do it. So first, x times x is x squared. Next, x times plus 4. That's plus x. So it's plus x times plus 4, which is plus 4x. Next, 3 times x is plus 3x. Plus times a plus. And finally, plus 3 times plus 4, 3 4s are plus 12. Okay, and those are our 4 terms. Now, we're not finished there because we can combine like terms. See, that and that are like terms because they're both terms in x. So we can combine them into one. That's the only term in x squared, so that stays the same. Now, plus 4x plus 3x is plus 7x. And this term is the only numerical term, so it stays the same. And that's it. X plus 3 times x plus 4 is x squared plus 7x plus 12. No problem. Right, let's do another one. Let's do a minus 2 times a minus 5. Okay, exactly the same thing. First we're going to do that times that. A times a is a squared. Now we're going to do that times that. So it's plus a times minus 5. Don't forget that minus belongs to the 5. So it's plus times a minus, which is a minus. And it's 1a if you like. So 1 times 5 is 5. A times minus 5 is minus 5a. Okay? Now we're going to do minus 2 times a. Minus 2 times 1a is minus 2a. Finally, minus 2 times minus 5. It's a minus times a minus, so it's a plus. And 2 times 5 is 10. Okay? Gather like terms. That's the only term in a squared, so it stays the same. These are like terms because they're both terms in a. So you've got minus 5 of something minus another 2 of something. So minus 5 minus another 2. It's a total of minus 7a. That's the only number, so that stays the same, plus 10. And that's it. A minus 2 times A minus 5 is A squared minus 7A plus 10. Good. Right, last example. What if we have this? Something like y plus 4 all squared. Right, be careful with these. That does not mean you just do y squared plus 4 squared. Okay, so that's y squared plus 16. Okay, that is wrong. Okay, you can't just apply the squared to each individual term in the brackets. Okay, so do not fall into that trap. Right? You have to write it out. There's no shortcuts. Y plus 4 all squared means y plus 4 times y plus 4. Like that, okay? There's no shortcuts, you have to write it out. And now we're back to here. You just do standard bracket multiplication. So, y times y is y squared. Y times 4 is 4y. 4 times y is 4y. And 4 times 4 is 16. Okay? And that becomes y squared plus 4y is plus 8y. Then plus 16 on the end. As you can see, y squared plus 8y plus 16 is not the same as y squared plus 16. So don't fall into that trap. And there you go. That is how you do bracket multiplication in algebra.